A nebula is a formation in space which is constituted mostly of helium, dust, and other gases in various concentrations. The shape and size of a nebula varies, and as such, there can be various types of formation having different sizes. Very often, they are huge in size and their diameters can be a number of light years across. It is derived from Latin and as such means a cloud. It is not clear how exactly a nebula is formed, but it is believed that they are formed by the collapsing of interstellar medium, which then come together because of the gravitational pull of the particle. Nebula is an important object for observation by researchers, who derive significant information about the formation process of stars and planets. A nebula is capable of exerting a gravitational pull, and the force is derived from the particles which come together to form the nebula. With more particles coming together, not only does the nebula increase in proportion, but its gravitational pull also gathers more power and intensity. A nebula is also believed to be one of the primary stages in the formation of stars. Scientists are of the opinion that a nebula can be used to create a trajectory of stellar evolution. There are various nebulae that are in existence at present, though numerous numbers may exist in far-flung corners of space that remain to be observed. Some of the most popular ones are Pelican, Cab, Eagle, and Ring Nebula, with Ring being most observed ones on the planet. Nebulae are regions where new stars are beginning to form. Nebulae are made of dust and gases, mostly hydrogen and helium. The dust and gases in a nebula are very spread out, but gravity can slowly begin to pull together a clump of gas and dust. As their clumps get bigger and bigger, their gravity gets stronger and stronger. Eventually, the clump of dust and gas gets so big that it collapses from its own gravity. This collapse causes the material at the center of the cloud to heat up, and this hot core is beginning of a star. Nebula exist in the space between the stars, also known as interstellar space. The closest known nebula to Earth is called the Helix Nebula. It is remnant of a dying star, possibly one like the Sun. It is approximately 700 light years away from Earth. That means even if you could travel at the speed of light, it would still take you 700 years to get there. So, how do you know that nebula look like? Astronomers use very powerful telescope to take picture of faraway nebula. Space telescopes such as NASA's Spitzer Space Telescope and the Hubble Space Telescope have captured many images of faraway nebula. By the way, what is a supernova explosion? A supernova explosion is the biggest explosion that humans ever seen. Each blast is the extremely bright, super powerful explosion of a star. One type of supernova is caused by the last hurrah of a dying massive star. This happens when a star at least 5 times the mass of our Sun goes out with a fantastic bang. Massive stars burn huge amounts of nuclear fuel at their cores or centers. This produces tons of energy, so the center gets very hot. It generates pressure, and the pressure created by a star's nuclear burning also keeps the star from collapsing. A star is in balance between two opposite forces. The star's gravity tries to squeeze the star into the smallest, tightest ball possible. But the nuclear force burning in the star's core creates strong outward pressure. This outward push resists the inward squeeze of gravity. When a massive star runs out of fuel, it cools down. This causes the pressure to drop, gravity wins out, and the star suddenly collapses. Imagine something 1 million times the mass of Earth collapsing in 15 seconds. The collapse happens so quickly that it creates enormous shock wave that causes the outer part of the star to explode. Usually a very dense core is left behind, among with a expanding cloud of hot gas called a nebula. A supernova of a star more than about 10 times size of our sun may leave behind the densest object in the universe, black holes. A second type of supernova can happen in systems where two stars orbit one another and at least one of those stars is an Earth-sized white dwarf. A white dwarf is what's left after a star the size of our sun has run out of fuel. If one white dwarf collides with another or pulls too much matter from its nearby, the white dwarf can explode. Kaboom!